camera's a little wonky. And I can fix that. Let's showcase Diamond Dog a little more. Here, less of my computer screen in the closet. And
Shit Godzilla, you spelt it wrong.
Shit God, more like Shit Godzilla. That is not true. Brett Elston, I've waited. I didn't know we were going to be able to do this, but I've waited to watch this movie with you. I was riveted by everything you told us on bonus time and made it a point to forget most of it.
Yeah. It's been almost a year. It's been almost a year since I.
Did you saw this in the theater?
In October of 2016.
It took forever to release on DVD. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Laser Time Commentary. Hold on. Before we start, we're 24 seconds into our file. You pause on the third Godzilla roar you hear. I don't know how many Toho logos on your version.
It's a blue screen with a buttload of kanji on it.
Yes, but it'll be
the first one is the Toho in Tokyo. I know that much,
is it?
But I don't know what.
It hit pause at the third stomp. You have not heard a roar yet. Third stomp.
Oh, that's also West, I think.
Now we got Baka's Dumb 1, Easy
Baka's
Peasy,
Dumb.
and some guy named Tiller Wildy.
Tiller Wildy?
I recognize
I talked to him today.
It's Nishi Nagashi. I'm totally
Quacky Serpy.
But I've like really slid on my all this
Brett,
stuff.
you're a big Godzilla fan. Watching Godzilla in 1984 with you was a fucking treat.
Fun fact: when we watched Godzilla 1984 about a year ago, it was this hot. And we had to, and we were all in our shorts, and the camera was behind us.
It's just whatever body heat you brought with you. It was fine before you came.
I did ride my bike here.
2 is a threshold. So, Fish, what is up? He says hi, Brett.
Hi.
But we both saw the 2014 Godzilla movie together.
Yeah, it was fun.
What was your overall?
Reserve answers.
Was this, you did like this movie?
I loved Shin Godzilla for the reasons that will become apparent if somehow you haven't had the things that happen in this spoiled for me or spoiled for you. Get ready, because the reason I love this was ever since I was a little kid, like first grade, 1986, 87, saw Megalon and then Godzilla 1985 and was like, this is awesome. I love this. And from that point on, all of them were so formulaic that you knew what to expect. Even when they went into the 90s and 2000s, you still kind of knew a formula they were going to follow.
It's almost like a long Power Rangers episode.
Kind of, yeah. And then even when it got like super anime with like there's different factions and these people have superpowers and it's like, God. But this was the first time I've watched a Godzilla movie in probably 20 years where I was like, I have no idea what to expect. What's going to happen?
Which
and
even with the American ones, you didn't feel that way. It didn't follow the Toho formula necessarily, but it was like such a hack cliche. Both of them, cliched versions of an American disaster movie.
Yep. And granted, I didn't know exactly where the '98 one was going, but it went in the wrong direction every time.
What? Who doesn't like going to the garden? Little Godzilla's everywhere.
There's a boy and a girl. You're laying about eggs.
This guy doesn't like the garden.
The one F-18 they summon, it shoots one missile and he's dead. That's Godzilla, everybody.
And she's a girl. The girl Godzilla has a vagina.
I'm fine with that. But like, just that movie sucks so much. I've never been so mad. But this is
Keith, what up?
This is intentionally weird. So yeah, the director is it Hideaki
Anno-san from Evangelion.
And this gets anime in a different way than the 2000s ones, where it gets anime in a. This is one of the weirdest things I've ever watched, and it's challenging what I came to expect about this medium, not what the hell is going on. This is stupid.
I try to forget a lot of the stuff you said about the specifics, but that this movie succeeds in just avoiding the Godzilla formula altogether.
Much. Yeah.
And I've read criticisms of people people love the movie, and then Godzilla fans who it's weird if thinking of a Godzilla fan who doesn't know anime.
Yeah.
Or wouldn't be familiar what the director of Evangelion might bring to this.
I've never seen
but
any
are
Evangelion.
Very upset.
Like I've never seen any Evangelion anything.
Yeah,
and yet I love this.
But that's the minority. I've seen a couple real hardcore Godzilla fans profoundly upset by this movie because it doesn't follow any of the conventions of the films.
I never understand that because I'm like, you have probably 2 dozen. I don't even know how many. Like I'm a huge fan. I've been since 7 years old. I don't care at all if I ever get another one that looks and plays like that. Or plays out like that.
Yeah, you could watch Godzilla movies back to back for 3 days.
And this does a great thing of following. What it does do that I think is very important to paint Godzilla as a natural disaster again, not some hero or even anti-hero or unintentional hero, as just a thing that exists that we have to react to. That's kind of our own.
But Donald Trump.
That's kind of our own creation. I'm detaching myself from that comment.
Hear the patrons dropping right now.
And I'm moving in a direction that is fun. Which is this movie, and we should maybe talk more when this movie actually gets started. But it does follow with the political allegories of the day.
Yeah.
Where in the 50s it
was important to the original Godzilla.
Absolutely was, and it gets lost in a lot of the hokiness and in what we did to it with the U.S. versions with Raymond Burr. But that was a national catharsis, or like some kind of like let's put a face to this horror that to this date, not thankfully, but they are still the only country that has had to endure that attack. And no one can know what that's like. So
when you look at like any good piece of art, the original Godzilla is this weird coping mechanism with a nuclear fallout on that level. And what other culture could do that? Was making movies the last time we did that. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, hopefully that never has to happen again. But this movie does have that exact same thing that is also somewhat controversial. There are some things in here that it's a growing sentiment in Japan, and people can pull a lot out of this, and that's perfect. That's what Godzilla should do.
Is it something like most Americans might not pick up on?
It's very Japanese.
Okay.
But it's an easily explainable thing. Like once we get into it, I can describe it a little more.
Yes, 7 Pains. I have not seen this movie before. I swear to God, not to sound like a big-ass gay wad, I didn't want to watch it without Brett. I always assumed we'd watch it like this, and then you went over to Capcom, and I wasn't sure that would happen, and so I just never watched it.
First time I saw this on the back of a Virgin Airlines seat. Watching it today on a computer screen with you guys talking at the same time. I swear, every time I watch this, it's going to be a slightly less intrusive. At least there won't be a stewardess putting like a Diet Coke in my face like every 40 minutes.
I don't know how this will be to watch because it's subtitled and it's a lot of talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
like any good Godzilla movie,
there are some English lines in this that are awful.
Yeah.
Really?
Because in Japan it plays fine, but to us we're like, that is the wrong intonation. Yeah. That's the wrong way you would say that. No one would say that.
This is like Resident Evil level. Like,
was that
did you get the caterer to say this? Come on.
Or was like a situation where like, was that the only guy at the restaurant when you were shooting this?
They're like the stars, but because there's a lot of English lines that'll find their way into songs or catchphrases, they'll be like, let's do it, and you're like, and it's no different than when I try to clumsy ass my way through Japanese.
That was a story I forgot.
I'd probably mess it up
on bonus time. I wanted to tell you we were stuck in Seattle and we ended up right next to GameWorks, and I realized I've never gone to GameWorks and treated it like an arcade.
Yeah,
and they had the cards where you could just buy time, like 2 hours, and it was the most fun we've ever had playing every single Japanese car racing game. Time to race, and it was like she's like, "What did he say?" I'm like, "Don't bother asking about it. Just rolling start. It's going to be good." The car moves in this one.
Before we start, though, because once we start, there'll be so much reading that I have a surprise for you, Chris. Can you describe? You already described on bonus time what you lost on our last river trip.
I can't wait to.
Yeah. So one was your Apple Watch.
Yes.
What was the other thing that got messed up?
Well, my e-cigarette, but also my shoes. Somebody, I believe Brett and I know, asked me one of the most bizarre questions ever. What was my shoe size? And I've been dying to know what this is. How long can we delay this stream?
Come on.
No. We have another thing to open up.
Oh, so you lost your sandals, right?
They shoes. Didn't lose them. They broke. They broke in half.
So our coworker was down at D23.
God, I love you, Steph.
So I thought, we need to get Chris some
Oh!
Donald Duck sandals, everybody.
Dude, look at that.
They are great.
They are the sweetest.
I'm actually jealous and upset that I don't have these.
Oh, Steph, I did get a package that might have something for all of us. You guys in the chat, tell us if you want us to open it up on the stream. Maybe we can. I don't.
This is going to be the first 3-hour, 2-hour movie.
I know what one of them is. Godzilla versus the Boardroom. I love this movie though. So Soapfish.
A lot of boardrooms, but that is also played for jokes, and that goes into what the political commentary is about this movie.
It's just saying Shin Godzilla failed to kill both dictator. Oh, I missed it. Missed it, awkward loser. Wow. Open it up. All right, kill time, guys. Kill time.
All right, so
I'm thinking of stuff for you guys.
It's
a big box.
So ask everybody. You can ask me one question, and but whatever the first one is, I see. I'm not answering any more after that. So whoever types it in first, that's it. That's all we're doing until Chris gets back. Open it. Is that what we got to do? All right.
There's no question.
I guess that's not a question.
If someone said open it, then that would be a question.
Open it? Man, did I break the chat?
First, wow, yeah. So many people type their deepest desire.
All right, well, Chris is back. You forfeited.
Oh,
Sorry.
Alex Bradia. No, wait. Yeah.
Okay.
Kiefer.
I love Soapfish's only one question.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yes. Favorite Godzilla movie? Hedorah.
Hedorah.
Yeah, definitely Hedorah.
What's Hedorah?
The smog monster.
Ah.
A bunch of these I can't answer anymore.
Let me see here. Don't look in the box because I was told there were surprises here. I have no idea what's in it, other than the big thing.
Oh wait, we haven't heard your Spiderman reactions.
I finally just saw it this weekend.
Oh,
last weekend. It took me forever.
Good Lord.
Which
Hi,
I have to
everybody.
imagine there's like 3 people at the movie theater.
No, it was still completely
Really?
full.
Wow.
Like,
This box,
I don't know if that movie's
that's how
just.
big it is.
But yeah, Hedorah is my favorite, but then 1985/84 is the other one. I just loved it. It was so much as a kid, and it's what showed me.
Oh.
As a kid, I loved the pro wrestling Godzilla versus Megalon, which is pro wrestling as hell. But then 1985, which I would later realize how chopped up and awful it is, but I still love it. It's what I grew up on. That showed me like, oh, Godzilla's actually cool, not just a friend to children.
So, Brad, why don't you narrate this while I get
Is this
the
more
big
stuff
one.
to throw away?
Our buddy Keith.
Well,
if you've been
the
listening to
the first thing is the story of Shrek's CD-ROM, hosted by Shrek. The story you love, straight from the ogre's mouth. I'll file that in the garbage.
Yes.
I think this is Carmen Sandiego. Who is
No,
this?
it's the Captain Hook. You scurvy
Got a
Bildrak.
replacement for Chris's Apple Watch.
Is this the one that he...
Buzz Lightyear.
Is he supposed to be riding a horse?
Buzz Lightyear watch. Are you psyched for King of the Monsters? Says Kiefer.
Oh, this is
Sora?
the Blitzball kid from Final Fantasy X.
with 1K, not to be confused with Final Fantasy X's Riku of like almost the same fucking year. Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
swear.
pretty close.
And I think there's
That's trash.
I got it. Well, I won't check everything. I told the story a long, long time ago of trying to get something on eBay. I made that person an offer. That person said, I'll give it to you for $5 more than or less than the offer. And like, I'm not buying it for that much. Our buddy Keith lowballed him even more when the auction was going away. And that podcast I talked about that was Talking Simpsons, the Rosebud episode. This is one of a kind Simpsons animation cell.
Wow.
With Smithers breaking a chair over the back of the new Bobo.
Wow.
And what I love about this scene, if you watch it, they pan across it very quick. You never see this whole shot.
Wow.
So here it is. God, I have a Simpsons animation cell. I have nothing.
You did it.
Nothing to complain about.
You did it.
How about we get started over here? Sorry, guys. Thank you so much, Keith. If you're watching, cannot thank you enough for doing that.
Mechagodzilla is a great movie, and when you're done watching this, go YouTube the King Caesar summoning song.
Okay.
A banger, that one.
All right.
It's a big time song.
But here's where we're paused. You open it up, there's going to be a couple of Toho logos. I literally think 2 of the exact same logos. You should be paused on a blue screen right as the third stomp commences. There's white text. Brett seems to think it says Tokyo.
Well, no, it doesn't say Tokyo, but there's 6 kanji. I think the left one is west.
And odds are you don't know what it means either. So,
yeah, it's 6 kanji on a blue background.
We're 24 seconds into our file. If you hear a Godzilla roar, you've gone too far. But I think we're going to watch the logo together. I will clean the studio, Will. You have my word. But we get boxes every once in a while, and I don't know what to do with them.
It's been 2 years. It's not.
It's been 2 years, but it's progressively worse when kind people send nice things. And anyway, here we go. My subtitles say a film by Toho Co Unlimited. Our subtitles say poop because that's the torrent we got.
Huh. Egg.
Gonna watch it with my mind's eye. So here we go. It's after the Toho logos. I believe it's just a blue screen with white text. The third stomp is where you want to pause. Here we go. We're getting ready to unpause the count of 1. 3, 2, 1. You hear the end of that stomp?
Heard the end of the stomp.
Roar! Yeah, that's definitely Gojira.
Shin Gojira.
Gojira.
Tiny other logo.
Eren!
Tokyo something.
Spotted a pleasure boat.
Haneda is the airport that we've flown into.
Man, I'm not fucking around.
So apparently the new Blu-ray release does have dubs.
I have the dub.
But it's also like the same exact length. So hopefully... I don't want to suggest anyone be brave enough to watch the dub. And see
there's
how
home
it
video
compares.
camera here. I just got off a boat. This is traumatizing.
Yeah.
Can anybody guess what camera they're using? I'm going to say a Canon.
Wow, we use those same intercompany mails at Future. to send something to the third floor.
Shit.
I can't carry that down one flight of stairs. Interoffice mail, please.
Oh, you have the pilot for Ava Shinji. Whoops-a-daisy. Shit. Oh, yeah. Do you know where this is? I don't recognize.
It said outside Haneda.
Okay.
So, oh, shit.
What the fuck?
So this movie is really weird.
So it opens up with a rain of blood, like The Shining.
Well, it's like rust and dirty water.
I was checking the sound.
So yeah, basically the opening is regular normal day in Tokyo. All of a sudden, an underground water pipe explodes, and they're like, "Ah, shit! It's gonna make a huge mess."
Oh no, inefficiency.
Oh, there's a whole lot of that. It just breathes and moves so much faster than a Godzilla movie that you would expect.
And that's the only reason I find them hard to watch. Like I think you made the comment about the 2014 film. Like technically, there's a lot of long scenes of humans talking.
Yeah.
Even in ones where Godzilla is something you summon.
Why is it an 8:30 leak affecting anyone? Shouldn't everyone be at their office jobs at this point?
Otherwise, they've disappointed their boss.
Yes. Even though they're super hungover from the night before.
They're checking on an earthquake.
So this is also their first, like, pay attention to the meetings, though. Like, the size of this meeting, right? This becomes a running joke.
Having been in meetings with too many people, if you've been in a meeting with too many people, you can understand this. Wow, everybody has to force an opinion. Otherwise, they don't justify being here.
Their job.
Jesus Christ. Man, their Kinkos are way better than ours.
Gonna copy everything.
All of the Geek Squad members are here.
Philip Lopez is like Godzilla meets In the Loop.
Okay, so.
Was that all blood? Alex is asking. And me.
I don't think so. Maybe I didn't take it as blood. I just took it as like
mud,
rusty, gross underwater stuff.
Fast cuts in a Godzilla film.
I know, like that's why it's so refreshing.
Even the 2014 one had a long, prolonged shots in it.
Let's make this movie Cloverfield for like
an iPhone. I recognize this.
What? You can't fit your charms on the bottom of that phone.
You get signal down there?
When does Tokyo 3 go to battle stations? As John Wheel goes, oh, your torrent has no subtitles. That's what you get for not supporting the arts, the Japanese arts.
Soul Call. This is great. So, yeah, they're still talking about what's going on. Could it be this? Could it be this? And I think this escalates into another meeting.
How very Japanese.
So they're like, can't be a submarine.
Wish we had emergency slides to ski for Folsom. Haven't watched the movie with you guys for a long while. Saw the email and fired it up. Thanks, Arlen. I loved Godzilla as a kid. Do you worry about? Is this a movie a kid could discover? Because I mean, Godzilla kind of became that.
A kid who loves meetings.
Well, so it's weird because I watched 1985 a lot of kid. Yeah. It's like literally a 6-year-old, and it still kept all my attention because they're talking
shots of a spaceship shooting Godzilla.
It follows the Poochie logic of whenever Godzilla's not on screen, they're talking about Godzilla.
All right.
They're not talking about something else. So they're already like a giant whale.
Giant whale.
Like the sea is on fire. Like how? That's not a whale.
Where Godzilla's name comes from? Whale and gorilla.
It's whale and gorilla mixed with kyoru. I forget the word for whale. I should really memorize that.
I saw a whale over the weekend. Anyway, listen to bonus time. It's the most boring long thing I've ever done. Shrek, hosted by Shrek.
This guy's
Are these guys separated by class by their seats?
Probably.
Like, it looks like
I'm sure there's like politics.
Yeah, look at that.
Let's return to the meeting room. So now
there are 3 different types of chairs in that room for different classes of workers.
And so
why do we come to this hotel lobby anyway?
Yeah. So now here they are all going to the meeting, and then it basically comes to you'll have to make do with his decision. Do not complicate things further. And like, shouldn't we do things and consider things? And it's like, it's good to be rebellious, but you got to think about the politics, man. And this gets into the meta commentary of this, which is director feels Japan is repeatedly paralyzed, and this is a commentary on the tsunami, where so much shit went so bad so fast, and a lot of it came down to who's at fault, whose fault is it, and we're not moving until we decide who's falling on their sword, metaphorically, and we got to have
someone to blame before we fix it.
We got to have things to blame. We know who's responsible, and also nothing can really happen until we've decided all these other things. So when you're paralyzed with all this procedure and decision making, bad things keep happening, and you need to be a little bit more nimble and agile. And instead, their inaction here makes things get worse and worse and worse. And then there's times in this movie where the plan saves the day or saves some people. Time passes. But then there's also a whole commentary when Godzilla does show up later about the military, which is the other big conversation.
And now they have to order a bunch more Bob Barker microphones for the room.
Hell yeah, they do.
Come on down.
Bingo.
Didn't Olivia Munn sort out this problem on the newsroom? Keith Wood. We're so over the newsroom. Come on.
So yeah, there's just a big gross thing that's boiling in the center of the bay. And yeah, it becomes you don't agree with this decision, but you've got to go on record as this is your idea, and you're going to get hosed.
I guess that's a very Japanese construct. The real Godzilla was meetings all along, says Philip.
And even him suggesting it might be a creature is argue, 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 argue.
You have sullied the minutes of our meeting.
Hentai is art!
And now they're all getting text messages.
The blue part is land. That was
Turn on the TV. I understood that.
John Wiego says that was kind of the subtext in Evangelion. There was always one officer who would push for crazy strategies over careful planning.
Everybody, it's Godzilla.
It's clearly ahead, you fool. I resign.
We're disbanding the entire department.
Fake news.
All right, yes, and now everybody else go to the next meeting.
Daniel, what's up, man? I saw this opening day in Tokyo, but I didn't understand much.
Man, these are not the subtitles that I saw in the theater, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, these are kind of whacked.
These might not be official subs.
I am waiting for one of those fan subs where it's here is a paragraph below the text that explains what they're saying right now.
Oh yeah, Keikaku, everybody.
5 meetings, says Chris.
Meanwhile, there's a giant thing in the bay writhing around.
Maybe we should have a meeting within this movie to accentuate.
Let's map out the next year laser time.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Addison Dittman says seeing this in the Toho Theater in Shinjuku was a religious experience.
Man, I imagine. What was the audience like in that? I'm very curious.
You said you were sort of disappointed in the Godzilla fandom when you went over there the first time.
I mean, it's just so anemic now because they just haven't had any reason. All the monsters
you
I love.
didn't go over there until 10 years after the last movie.
It was 2007, so even Final War. But even by the time Final Wars came out, Godzilla wasn't cool. Yeah. You had to be kind of a dork to still be going to see that.
Take a shot for every meeting scene, says Alex. Daniel says it was packed.
Nice.
Wonder if that's what's the closest equivalent. A Japanese person who really loves Rambo and comes here and is like, why does nobody like Rambo anymore?
Having just been to an arcade and saw, why is there a brand new Sega Rambo game?
Yep.
Why did this?
Is this big on the Xbox 360?
Is this big over there? There's a laser time topic: movie meeting rooms. Kiefer Folsom. If we're around for another 2 years, we'll get there.
Yes, we will.
Hasn't Godzilla always been bigger in the States because of a generation raised on basic cable, says Andrew Bamer? That could be.
I mean, he was huge in Japan in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Godzilla was gigantic.
I've seen
it was a big deal.
I've seen more than one store in San Francisco that is just devoted to Godzilla toys. Or
Kaiju,
sure. But Jesus Christ.
It's moving. It's moving.
Ooh.
Not Runway D.
Wait till you see what he looks like. You're going to hate it.
Never want to hear another complaint about the Enterprise D's conference room.
Dude, that conference room is sick nasty. I love it. But I'll give you this. Again, think of the number of cuts that have taken place and think of how quickly they have introduced the threat. Like Godzilla movies usually take forever. They wrap you up in what the person's doing or some dub side story. This is already like it's moving. Like they're arguing like what could it be? And again, you're in a world where there is no Godzilla. This has never happened before. So everything is like what the hell?
It was raised on Godzilla VHS. This is Keith Folsom. Someday I want to do a collection of those cover arts because some of them are excruciatingly bad. They look weird. Like children's book covers.
My Megalon one isn't even the one where they're on the Trade Center. It's pre that.
I forgot about that.
Yes, they are fighting on top of 9/11.
Just a giant head of Jet Jaguar. Jet Jaguar.
And this is straight up tsunami imagery, right? Like this is what like they had to see.
Fuck me.
And this is on purpose to be like, did you see this shit when you were running for your life?
And
like,
he's not stomping around like, he's a King Kong. He's burrowing like a gopher.
He's basically like slithering.
Yeah.
Wait do you see this?
It's like when a dog wants to like rub its smell on something.
Yes.
What experts.
Man, the first shot of him fully is, I remember like, I wish I could have seen my face.
Well, I sadly didn't like an image of get leaked out very early of
it might have
one of the back into the left. Is there? Oh, Dave's pushing the beer with his foot. 7 meetings is Chris Cumans. What?
Oh, this girl's great. We have not established which agency should act. Yes, and so while they sit here and argue...
Oh my god, I do remember this.
Psychologically?
Physiologically.
I can't read.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. My Tsum Tsum scores through the roof, though.
You won't believe what Trump did this time.
We're in the middle of G1 Climax. I'm very interested to see if Tanahashi wins again.
You all know what I'm talking
Kenny
about.
Kenny Omega is so good.
Ah, yes, his apology uniform.
Get this over with. I have Hamilton tickets. I'm tired of doing a racist Japanese executive voice. Can I stop now? There's no one saying yelling at cable news. What kind of politics is this? Jesus Christ.
It's just mashing through the street, pushing a pile of shit everywhere.
Just the formality of the language slows so many things down, says Soapfish.
Yeah, of any language. If we
they're
could,
all dressed like Donald Trump going in the big truck.
Beep, beep.
I watched this dubbed, and man, those are some deadpan reads.
Oh, no. Yeah, I would not watch this dubbed if not possible. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
I've interrupted.
I never should have given the security guard his own press conference.
Yeah, and he's just like, what? It's already on. Like, their whole plan was like, well, it can't get on ground. We've decided that for certain. And then it's like, there you go.
Hey, what the fuck? What the Oh, that's some beady Attack on Titan shit. Jesus Christ. Because this does involve an Attack on Titan. The guy directed the live action movie?
Yeah, there's 2 directors. The other guy is one who did the live action Attack on Titan.
Oh, man.
Man, to put a very narrow timestamp on this, there was like the tweet this weekend about the dog that has the Victorian children eyes.
The crowd I saw this
Shin Godzilla.
The crowd I saw this with laughed when they first saw Godzilla and his goofy eyes, said Alex.
I don't know. I kind of like how creepy it is.
Yeah, nobody laughed when I was there because it's like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's supposed to be fucking nuts and weird. And everyone who laughs at that, I'm like, I don't know if you understand how to react to things, man.
It's this disgusting, like, mutated creature that's leaking. You just see it's leaking fluid out of its body. Like, wouldn't it be constantly in horror of its own, like, existence?
Kill me.
Yeah.
A toy spoiled this for me, says Chris Cumans.
That's the 98 Godzilla all over again.
It looks like it just wants to die every second, says the Tiger Chief. Lidless eyes and bleeding gills. It is horrifying, says Philip Lopez. Oh, there's a Tekken intersection. Not quite. "10 meetings," says Chris Cumans.
Man, this is a fan sub because they called it a lifestyle giant. I'm like, that can't. What? I don't think that was in the.
What, like Andy Warhol?
Combat the lifestyle giant.
My roommate and I were a bit bothered by it, says Alex. Oh, the audience. But I mean, that's driving home the force of nature thing, and not the. I think there is a difference because American treats him like a natural disaster.
Well, America treats him like a joke. Like he's a joke.
I mean,
it's funny when
in American movies.
Yeah, when he suplexes monsters. Well, in 2014 when they tried to go the natural disaster route, which was fine. It's just that movie was really boring.
Well, what is it,
this music, dude.
The 98 Godzilla like is in a couple parts interchangeable with Armageddon.
Yeah,
like scene for scene.
Beyonce is another lifestyle giant.
I'm glad I wasn't doing shots for every meeting, says Alex.
Oh my god.
This theme is so good, by the way. I listened to this a few different times. It was in the trailer as well.
Godzilla's just building his brand, man. I love the long shots on this film.
Shingo, I remember that word. Traffic light.
Man, Japan is such an orderly place. I can't imagine trying to get a shot like that in the streets to go off.
I love that shit. Those are like, there's a lot of CG, but man, and just this awful thing that can't support its own neck.
Yeah.
It's just trying to walk with the legs it has,
like a retarded chicken.
It's like your cat just came home from the vet and it's still on its meds.
Good Lord.
Like, I just love, like, every shot of it is just, what the fuck is it doing?
It looks like Jim Henson came back from the grave to pilot a sentient puppet. I can do it again, I swear. You think Shin Godzilla likes Matthew Broderick and fish?
All those people are boned. That sucks. And so this is where they start asking, we seek the help of the self-defense force. And this is the other message of the movie. Japan, according to Article 7, and there it is in the background, only to open fire on Japan's soil, there has to be an attack of another country. There is no rule that's set that says if there's a giant monster in the street, we can actually fight back.
He spawned in our oceans. It's not a foreign invader.
Sure. So soldiers participating in armed combat, it comes to the prime minister, and do you want to be the guy who orders that attack on your own country? And in real life, Japan is so tied up with all the rules that were established after World War II. If they get attacked, they're severely limited in what they can actually do to defend their country. And that comes from de-escalation, which is absolutely necessary in a post-nuclear world, or currently nuclear world. But it's like, they can't mobilize for war if they're under attack. Like, they have to reach out to all these other countries.
They need an Asian John McClane. I don't like to lose. 14 meetings, says Chris Humans. EDF.
Yeah, for real.
The self-defense force. Like, when I remember watching this and thinking, like, oh, man, you got to choose a Sky Ranger. She doesn't have good health, but she can really get the job done.
Self-defense force is a real thing, you're saying?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's just their they don't have a standing military, but they have if we're attacked by a foreign country, we can defend ourselves, but we can't go to war necessarily, and there have to be very specific conditions in which we can fire ammo and rounds on our own soil. I mean, America has some of the similar rules too, but nowhere near what Japan has to deal with.
Well, I never read about it until Trump started talking about it. Like, we're spending too much to defend Japan because they de-escalated their military to such an extent that they don't really have one in the event of an attack.
And it's because they were like on the Imperial March for like a century or whatever, so they came back hard from that. And there's a huge debate still there of like, hey, look where that got us before. We were a part of a world war when, like, we need to fix shit here in Japan.
What was the name of the Godzilla force, Brett? Asked Alex Pareto.
Oh, God.
They had the cool hats with Godzilla on it.
Man, all that stuff I kind of tuned They very recently changed the laws in Japan to let them participate in foreign conflicts in support of their allies. Interesting. 14 meetings in 20 minutes. Chris Cummins.
We're almost ready to greenlight this game.
We've all agreed this is the worst course of action we could take. Excellent.
We're Japan's hard-nosed military. We only have time for 10 meetings.
We have decided to unrelease Last Guardian.
You must submit your existing copies. And yes, this prime minister, who eventually just gets to a point where he's like, I'm not making these decisions. Peace. Like, if troops focus only on evacuation.
They recently changed the laws to Japan to let them participate in foreign conflicts in support of their allies. Of course, this was very controversial, says the Taku chief. More of this information, please.
Red Baron. At this point, members playing the take a shot per meeting game are now dead.
Let them fight.
So they're basically asking for like an initial, like, so we'll send some helicopters out.
And the director of this movie is the lead voice in one of my favorite Miyazaki movies, The Wind Rises.
It's a good movie.
If you saw that documentary, it's almost insulting. Miyazaki's like, who should voice the main character in Wind Rises? Someone like effeminate with a lot, but with a lot of authority, and like Anno. What about? Why don't we just ask Anno? He's effeminate. The prime minister doesn't want to be the one who made the call. Yeah.
There has to be etiquette for elevators in Japan, I would assume. Like, your superior gets to stand in front of you, even if you have to get out first.
One fart, no wet ones. I'm curious how many previous Godzilla stars were in this
before
film.
You fart.
Look at that! Look at that! Look at that asshole!
He just wants to rub its scent on the street.
Yeah, that is not the leaked image I was talking about, but it was clearly an evolution of
things. Will get so weirder, weirder than this.
Oh my God, this is terrifying. I've said that a billion times that the Attack on Titan, the dull, non-blinking looks, is the most terrifying thing in the. Holy shit!
I give up.
Friday, huh?
This is not even my final. All right, Stacy. Whoa! Did he just make the sound of the Godzilla theme? Okay, no, it's a score.
He's trying. Get up. Get up on them gams.
Oh, he's got some heat lines going over him. Okay, what is it? Am I in an Aerosmith video? What's happening
rendering
now?
Premiere file.
Jesus Christ!
What?
This is like a Hellraiser movie.
Why should Godzilla look charming at all? Like, it's supposed to scare the fuck out of everybody. Like, yeah, Godzilla, it shouldn't have eyes that make you feel for it.
I'll never not call the look of Godzilla iconic, but it was done to be a suit.
Yeah.
Within those confines. Not to be the scariest. I'm sure they wanted to make the scariest monster the world had ever seen.
Now we now have Samoa Joe's theme.
I wish Toho would hire ILM just once to do the effects for their films. That movie, The Host, is excellent, and all the effects were done here in San Francisco for some reason. Hearing the classic theme gave me chills, says Alex. I didn't expect it. What's the fucking song that samples this heavily?
Oh, there's like a hip hop song, yeah.
Evolving all of a sudden like a Pokemon, says Keith Wood. That's right, you're about to see a surfing Godzilla.
Whoa, fuck that.
I mean you no harm. Hello. Could we get a Gojira 1954 commentary? Again, I won't do it without Brett. Blame him. Ask him all the time.
Yeah,
Roast it on Twitter. I come to watch it about once a year at this point because that Criterion Blu-ray is so good.
It's been a long time,
and I just had only seen the American one for so long. It's almost bizarre to watch the 1954 one. Well, I recognize the word Roger.
This is great. So they're ready to fire, and I repeat, open fire, and then. Oh, ready to go? Are we going to fire?
Evan Garcia, how long are you guys planning to be alive?
Till the end of the movie.
Yeah, we're probably until about the 3/4 of the movie. We'll shut it down after that.
Yeah. And because there's there's some people, there's civilians present. And all these people have to ask the question, there are civilians present, can we shoot?
Holy shit.
Hey, she purple monkey dishwasher that.
And now, cancel, abort. The people might get hit or hurt, and if you fire a bullet from a Japanese government thing and hurt a Japanese citizen,
what's a civilian? The movie is almost exactly 2 hours.
The irony is that person is a child molester. That they were.
That is a question in Ethics 101. You
what?
have to shoot Godzilla, but there's a pedophile in the way giving a piggyback ride to a grandmother. Can you still shoot?
The grandmother used to be a Nazi.
And there's the thought that if they had fired then, could they maybe have harmed him in any way? And they'll never know. Tokyo,
good Lord. Oh, there you can see WWE Cafe. Okay. Now we move into a Spike Lee movie. Mo better Godzilla. Sorry.
I don't get it.
Mo better Godzilla? There's always an asshole that ruins it for everyone, says Keith Folsom. Where did he go?
I think it's a different
part of
town.
Those inspired the 80s.
Those are in Oakland.
Now it's just a fucking karaoke background.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, after a huge disaster happens, everybody just has to go back to work, and I think he disappeared?
Yeah.
That's insane. Do you want to tell us what happened to him? Did they not tell you?
I think the idea is that he just left. He disappeared.
Uh-oh, we're in the end of Evangelion now. Everyone start clapping.
That stare.
Meet the Press with Chuck Todd.
The thing is, they had way more than 2 hours if you consider like all of the pre-warnings that they had that just got suppressed.
He went back to the ocean. He was heating up too much, says Alex. I mean, you must have it in addition to the movie. I don't. This is a No Country for Old Men, where we skip the chapter of the murder. You think that's bad? You should have seen the time Godzilla ruined my meeting. Good one, Philip Lopez.
It's gonna cut to some stupid Godzilla bumping into a meeting with a normal deadpan voice for Godzilla. Oh, pardon me, sir. And it's just fucking 5'7" Godzilla walking in. What a great joke.
Please tell Steph thank you. These sandals are the shit.
Just put them to good use. That's all I ask.
This weekend.
I'm ready. I can't wait. Do you have any high-tech devices you want to lose on the water while you're out? Oh, my God. You're going to leave it behind, right? You don't need to take that with you.
Take your Switch?
I'm going to bring my Switch. Put it in a Ziploc bag. I can't find the Korok mask.
Chris, you don't have to jump off the same rock with your Switch. No, I'm playing Splatoon. Unless I got signal.
Got to do it for Team Mayo.
So, yeah, the idea is that, he was heating up too much. They haven't necessarily told you this directly, but...
there was a scene that showed his fins getting red.
Yeah, he gets red and he looks super hot.
This is all from memory. Currently, I'm on my commute home. Are you in Japan watching a Godzilla commentary with no Godzilla?
He also had the sweat lines that you see in anime.
Oh, yeah.
Protruding from his head.
Yeah.
And they got a nosebleed.
He put his hand behind his head, smiled, and threw up a peace sign.
It's time to go to the hot springs.
Philip, HR has told you about calling Janice Godzilla, says Andrew.
We've Had to cancel the show Bridezilla. It's too real now.
Don't live stream and drive, says Philip Lopez. Personally, I say do it, but make sure you bring us up so we get mentioned in the news.
They're going to convert this room into a different kind of room.
Oh, you can imagine how many meetings you could hold in this room?
This will be the ultimate meeting room. No room shall be able to touch the efficiency of this meeting room.
It's all from Vegas. We're walking in 100-degree heat. All right. These drums.
This is supposed to be like the rogue agency that's like not like the
Pretty
rest
much.
of the
Damn, you looked right at me.
Government.
Pretty much. It's a bunch of,
your cast, get to know them.
Not super popular people who are here to solve, like, what is this thing and what can we do about it?
Free thinkers.
And yeah, we're going to not follow all the rules and we're going to try to, like, actually just figure something out.
They don't tie their ties quite as tight.
I specifically asked for a scale model of the city. This is ridiculous.
Sometimes when they present their business card, they don't bow as far down as they should.
Love this music. It is literally just pulled from Ava, but it just makes me love it even more. Taco Chief, I was trying to place it whether these drums were in the original Godzilla, but it's totally in fucking Ava.
So yeah, they're just like, hey, we're looking at body fluid, we're looking at the footage, we're looking at all this stuff, and we're going to predict what we think this thing is and what we could do.
And Ken says, I dig that the Timpani theme is like 85% similar to the Nerve is about to do something theme. Dude, dead on. Yeah. Thank you, Ataka Chief and Kinsynth. We're going to need a bigger...
It is like you're about to start a mission in Earth Defense Force. Like, are you ready? Bugs are descending on the city. Do your best.
I choose the buffalo gun. Andrew Bremer says we're gonna need a bigger room.
So yeah, this is important where it's like
Jaws reference.
It's metabolism alone. Like to have that much energy, oxygen alone isn't enough. So where is it getting all this energy to exist?
Uh-oh.
He says that's impossible.
I mean,
to the thing...
You would have to be paid to say something like that after seeing a giant lizard destroy a city.
Now
Fusion, that's impossible. Holy crap, that is from Avis, as John Woo goes. I'm not sure if it was the exact song, but that song is used a fucking lot in Evangelion.
Oh, yeah, and this is also like they found out it's radioactive and they haven't told anybody, which again is like, hey, that reactor broke. And
hey, none of these helmets have popped up. Should I shoot them beforehand? Chris Pratt and Anna Faris broke up.
Mite kudasai. Hey. That was Spanish. That's definitely not the right subtitle.
I hate live Reddit. It's Little Mac all grown up.
And I think these are tweets that are saying like,
man,
is it radioactive? Hey, wait, I think this city is irradiated.
Type this, fake news. Tokyo Times.
Yeah, and they're like, whoops.
I feel like you can write a whole lot more in a Japanese tweet.
Oh, yeah, you definitely can.
That's crazy.
Like a full Fiona Apple album title in one tweet.
That's why I think it's obnoxious in old 8-bit games to skip through so many dialogue boxes. It wasn't anywhere near as many dialogue boxes in the original games.
Well, that's why, like Castlevania 2, a lot of NES games, the localization is so awful because it's like in Japanese, you can convey a crapload of information in a tiny box, and for us, it's like the worst, vaguest hint imaginable. And why Twitter barely works for that audience because it's like, I can communicate just fine with this. You might as well give me half this space.
I swear this guy reminds me of the Japanese version of what's his name from Big Bang Theory. Says Kiefer, I don't know what you're talking about. Philip Lopez followed up with Buzzilla.
Oh, yes. There's an aide to the U.S. president, and she's the one who kind of slips in and out of English, and boy, it is not great.
Was there a tweet from Godzilla in there, says Alex?
I think this is what I had. If you want a better one.
Oh, is that one even better?
What's wrong with? I've never had the blue ones.
This is $5 Trader Joe's.
They make IPA now.
Yeah,
dude, that IPA
is totally
good.
It's all right.
I mean,
it's $5 IPA. This is.
I didn't know they made an
$10
IPA.
IPA.
Whoa, hello. So this lady, get ready for some bad English, but she's a cool character otherwise. Yeah. But she's from America here to like, you know. Dude, the ending of this movie is fucked up. I'll say that much.
Godzilla's just angry he hasn't been verified yet.
What must one do?
I've eaten an In-N-Out burger.
Somebody else sprout arms in the 11th story.
American intelligence is totally on fleek.
Get ready. She's gonna... Hang on.
Yeah.
All right. God damn, what the hell?
Is there a song?
Gojira is on freak. I hate myself. So it's President good old Jim Ross instead of an Obama-like. Yes, the villain of Robot Jocks. What? You haven't had one of these?
It is strong.
It's like...
It's not strong. It's Lagunitas, baby.
I like the other one more.
Motherfucker.
It's got that slightly fruity... Those IPAs that have that fruity taste.
You're our guest, and I live to please. There are bottles in the fridge.
I have to pour this out on the carpet.
No, here
I'm fine. I'll drink it. I'm not.
Is it strong?
It's not that it's strong. It just has a completely different.
Yeah.
It's the strain of IPA that I don't like versus that which is
not an IPA.
Oh yeah, it's a lager.
I mean, it's a IPA style ale.
Yeah, this
is this good for the commentary?
Yeah.
You guys,
yeah.
You guys enjoying this?
My awful Japanese commentary can get with my awful beer commentary.
I like to think it's President Eagleman, says the Taco Chief. And are you guys watching dubs or subs? I found the dub pretty great. Yeah. We're watching subs.
But not official subs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder if this...
It literally is authored by something called Poop.
Yeah. But
that's the name of the
subtitle
author.
Is this a... Because it came out in Japan before America, I would assume. For a while. So is this like... Did someone get the Japan... Like, is this post the American dub that they just adapted? Or what? I don't know. But it's all the same running time regardless.
It can't be copied. You also can't take a photo of it with your phone and send that because...
because the Japanese version of Scaramucci is going to fire all the leakers.
Oh, they give it a code name.
Oh, that really going to date the commentary.
Like, to date myself... Like,
hang on. They're doing the name thing. They're doing the name thing. Okay. Oh, I guess I already passed it. Oh. They think... Non-disco.
How did they come upon the name? And why do they have a meeting about it?
It was in the U.S. gave it this name Godzilla because that was their code name, and she gave it the name God because it sounded wrathful.
See, this is why you give hurricanes boring names on a schedule.
That part's kind of weird though, because they don't bother like. In real life, they gave it because it's like ape and whale mixed together, or gorilla and whale, and it's like you could just say that. But in this one, he doesn't look anything like gorilla in the slightest, so it doesn't work. So it's just like fine.
Growing up in Florida, we learned that. Some people don't know hurricanes are named way in advance in alphabetical order.
Yeah, by the year they just like list them all out.
If we get to, let's hope we don't get to James, Hurricane James.
So yeah, radioactive material in the bay.
Daniel Carrack. Japan is the worst in the world at releasing international movies. Looking forward to Spider-Man Homecoming this Friday and Wonder Woman at the end of this month. Well, it works both ways because this is like almost a year to come out on an official disc. And they didn't even show the movie in theaters here. It was like a live streaming event.
It was played for
like
a week.
2 weeks.
It was 2 weeks. Yeah, it was very quick.
Someone in the chat said it was literally in their town for a day.
Yeah.
which is like.
It was like that time I missed the Mystery Science Theater 3000 movie because I was on a canoeing trip for a month.
So yeah, the idea is all this. A marine animal that feasted on all the refuse and is now like out of control.
Here's the plan to get Fire Pro Wrestling out of a Steam Early Access.
What the frick?
This is a Funimation import, says Just Humans. Wow.
Yes.
Can Funimation please change their fucking name?
It's not a...
It's so stupid. Because they were going to run it here. It was what was it called? Godzilla Resurgence? And they just, like, right before it came out, said, fuck that. It's Shin Godzilla. Subs only. Fuck you. Fuck America.
God, Godzillasaurus. Go to hell. Oh, that makes me so mad.
What? What's Godzillasaurus?
I'm actually forgetting now, but like there was something, yeah, it was like Godzilla is actually a dinosaur called Godzillasaurus, and then
in this movie?
No, it was like some, I forget actually where it came from. Is that a 90s thing, Alex?
No, I know. Funimation is like so legit now it's not even funny, but it has like the name of like a fucking Christian Bible man straight to video company. Like, can it just stop?
Funimation.
Give yourself a good name.
And here's the thing: everyone's going to try to pass the ball.
Todd Harrison, Godzilla Origins: Unleashed.
Godzilla versus King Ghidorah from the 90s. Yes, great. Boy, that movie has one of the best chase scenes of all time. If you somehow have not seen the chase scene from 90s Godzilla versus Ghidorah, get ready.
I'm not sure that I have.
For the worst blue screen you've ever seen in your life.
All you have to do is follow her on Patreon. She posts this every day.
So yeah, the US is getting very interested because this giant creature is just generating energy that doesn't exist.
Yes, it's like Bad Robot being one of the biggest studios, seeing it in front of a Star Wars film. Terrible name.
Careful what you name your companies is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't believe we still have a game store site called Gamersgate.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
Oh, rebrand.
Well, it's better than man. What was the thing from that? Oh yes, Godzilla has 8 times more genetic material. It's just a super complex, bizarre creature. But what Gamersmart, was that the thing in Talk Radar that
Gamersmart?
I remember like derailing the whole show.
Basement.
Well, there's that which I still want to make, but and get in a feud with like GameSpot or something. But it was like you brought up some like, hey, here's a game deal, and it's at Gamersmart, and I'm like, wait, and I'm like, Gamer Smart or Gamer Smart?
I don't know.
And we spent like minutes.
Let me go look at the logo.
Trying to figure out what this was, and even Michael was like, "Somebody answer the question." So yeah, they're saying he is basically a nuclear reactor, and the fins and the gills actually radiate the heat and the radiation. So he will heat up to a certain degree, and then he'll mutate. And question mark.
I feel
if he gets too hot, it's something like rapid cooling may not. If you can get him to expend all of his energy, right? So this is a thing they're going to use, and a blood cooling thing to get him to cool down. The whole thing is if you can get him to expend his energy or cool down, then he'll stop moving, and maybe then we can do something with him. And this coagulant will try to get his blood to stop, and like they come up with all these elaborate plans. But the whole idea is we have to get him to use as much energy as possible so that he has to recharge.
Okay.
And once he recharges, he just stops.
Are you kidding? Is it the Independence Day scene where they're worshiping the aliens and get obliterated?
I don't think that's what the actual subtitle is.
Godzilla is God. Like we saw Godzilla as God from the crowd.
The person who did the sub on this, I feel like they're slowly deteriorating. Like at the beginning, they're like, gotta get perfect grammar. I think I should do an ellipses here instead of a semicolon. I think it gets the point across way better. Now they're just like, Godzilla am in the country We should go to place where it is.
Oh, shit, I bought some of those in River City Ransom. Piece from Moss says, imagine how King Giordio would look in the Shin Godzilla universe.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
So basically, if he gets too horny, you have to make him come, and then he'll fall asleep. Got it, says Todd Harrison.
That's not what happened.
I've been juggling chat and live chat at this time. Do they know where he is? Is he traceable?
No, I think right now they still don't know where he's at. Shin Godzilla is literally a Cat G acrid from Lost Planet. Thank you for that. Atomic Knights, man.
Just find the orange spot and keep hitting it.
Cat G, though. It's a good pull. I'm happy.
Yeah.
That stands for Category G acrid. That is the largest type of acrid one can have in the Lost Planet franchise. There are only a handful that you encounter in the game because there are too many polygons to have on the screen.
They know he's in the bay, but past that, no. Come on.
I really feel for this guy.
My dad has a fish detector in his fucking canoe that can see what's underwater.
I really relate to this guy where he's being told that he's too stinky to do work.
Dude, that sub was you need a good shower. Good. You were totally right. That is whoever did this is like
good shower. Good. I feel like there should be good on both sides because
he's back.
Meanwhile, in another what?
Yeah.
So this is the picture I think that was released to people.
The tail is like its own freaking character in this movie, man.
I mean, they eventually. I mean, that's a really long Godzilla tail.
Yep. Get ready for some wacky shit with the tail.
Well, they eventually got a puppeteer for Godzilla's tail at some point.
Yeah, it was a separate string on the end of it. Yeah, because it
wasn't immediate.
Too much to navigate.
It was the simplicity.
Dude, I love this shot. That is so cool.
I'm not going to talk about Big Bird over a Godzilla movie.
I think that is one of the coolest shots in the last 15 years.
Why is the tip of the tail red?
John W. Because Big is back, the 6000 SUX.
I'd buy that for $1. I love you, John.
That's good. Oh, yeah, this is the tallest Godzilla ever.
Fuck, I forgot about we did our monsters, our monster sizes.
Yeah. And he's just so slow, so deliberate, and he's like irradiating heat in every direction.
How many times bigger is he than Chucky?
Chucky? Oh man, he's at least 3 times as big. I'm bad at math and
this Godzilla is an actual giant model.
Chucky in his final form can get pretty big.
That is
Alex
so
is pointing
cool.
out this is an actual Godzilla model.
Some of these are practical shots that got mixed in, Independence Day style.
And that's the best thing about Independence Day. The fire and the ships look amazing.
Yeah, they look
still.
incredible.
The movie's fucking terrible.
The movie's bad, and anytime the CG gets involved, it's not great. Fourth State, oh my god! That is so fucking cool!
There goes that boy. Oh, and more original score.
Yeah, this music's back. This music is so good. And he's supposed to look intentionally like, why isn't he moving his arms? Why is his face so dead? Like, that's on purpose. It should look unnatural as hell. And the reaction that you get, some people will want to like laugh or that looks bad. And it's like the intent is to make you uncomfortable. And it does. And that's great.
This is insane. That's fucking awesome.
Look at that. That is nuts.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool. Whoops. Why couldn't you have gone to...
Godzilla's not following protocol.
Go down to Kyoto where there's less to break.
We invited Godzilla to this meeting and he's not.
Why did it have to be Dragon Quest Friday?
Doesn't he know?
We sent him an Evite.
It is a damn great scale shot, John.
That is so...
He's modeled after burn victims after the bomb drops.
Ugh.
Yikes. Yeah, and they're just like alien blood, where it's like, if we even blow him up or something, like, we're just going to make it worse.
What about Skyhook, Mr. Wayne? We'll Skyhook him right out of the atmosphere.
The world's biggest grappling hook. No, that's too big.
We'll Fulton him out, just like in Metal Gear 5. That's what... Send him back to our base. Recruit him. Make him one of ours.
Do we have a balloon big enough to carry Godzilla? Sir, there's not enough helium on Earth. Then we'll mine an asteroid.
Yeah,
this is how we do.
I love the shots in this film, says Kiefer, says Alex. It's reminding me, dude, I haven't seen a lot of live-action Japanese films since like the advent of They weren't coming over here a lot. They've had bad transfers for my whole life.
Yeah.
This is the best-looking live-action Japanese movie I've ever fucking seen. The most well-shot as well.
I also just feel like in so many superhero movies I've seen in the last 10 years, like some of the shots and people are replicating things that have been done. And this is the first this was the first movie in a long time that I saw that like surprised and wowed me. Like all those shots of Godzilla from low in the ground and the scale shots, like hell yeah, buddy. F-16, get ready.
That's a B1 Blue Tiger.
It's kind of looks a little different from the tail looks different. But that plane is old as hell, by the way.
Well, it's like everything else in Japan.
You should not
the 80s. Let's not bother with stuff,
dude. 80s. I wish.
They're gonna unleash the D4 plane, which is it didn't sell that well, but people who own it really enjoy it. It's an Xbox One exclusive.
It took me a second, but I love it.
So they're finally gonna try to actually fight him and mitigate the damage, expecting this to go poorly, but they're like, well, we got to do something.
Yeah. We've already signed all the paperwork. We might as well do it.
That's why I do like Cloverfield, the perspective of someone on the ground. Well, but it's
is
what I hated on the second viewing of the 2014 Godzilla. They tried to show him only from a human point of view.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I liked it the first time, but really didn't like it the second time. But these shots are fucking wonderful.
What would be great is if, in like a year's time, there's a side story movie to this where John Goodman is keeping a bunch of Japanese people underground.
We're not leaving the robot restaurant until this is all blown over.
It's a Goodman dozen. Shin Godzilla's about to pick up his copy of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it's a big deal, man.
It really is. I really like Cloverfield.
I loved it the first time I saw it, and I refused to ever watch it again because I'm terrified I won't like it.
No, I watched it again. I thought it was great. I watched it several times. I think it's really fun. It's gimmicky, and like I've watched 10 Cloverfield Lane.
It was good.
And like
yeah,
it's an astonishing unfinished trilogy.
Yeah. Remember to fill out the proper forms for each round fired. Yeah.
So what are the bullets doing? Bouncing off, and they're still on fire after they hit him. This is splendid. There are literally 4 different meetings for one military operation, says Chris Cummins. Chris Cumsies, I'll call you. The amount of support staff to actual combatant is 20 to 1. They're making a new Cloverfield now, says Philip Lopez. Do you think they'd tell you that if they were?
They're making a new Cloverfield?
Yeah.
All necessary weapons. Oh my god, here we go. What's he going to do? And this is the crazy thing, is this Godzilla literally just reacts to whatever is happening. So you cannot imagine where this is going to go.
Getting longer?
You will not guess where this shit is going. By the time this movie is over, you will go, what the fuck? At least once.
That's their best weapon. Don't they have a giant, sexy lady Godzilla? Like, put in his back?
Yeah.
That is
show me your sexy ninjutsu. What the fuck? He still doesn't have eyelids. John Goodman bunkered down in a maid cafe. I can see this as the Godzilla vs. Kong crossover. Stacy Pro. John Goodman is no longer dead in the Roseanne reboot. That's all I'll say about it. But
what?
How dare you shit on the best ending of all time?
The one where they're on the train and they were... That's pretty cool. I do love this shot of his feet, and it just pans up.
Shin guards asshole.
This, like, just... No.
Fuck you doing?
It looks like he's made of like obsidian.
Let's put the world's biggest Lego underneath his feet. He'll hate it.
I think he says this part coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've established he's being shot and he's not releasing radiation, so continue fire.
Yeah, they're basically just like nothing's hurting him, so just go nuts. Like shoot everything you've got. Man, tanks are so fucking cool.
Tank. Played it this weekend. Hit his dick, says Adam Street. The public demands it. Can you imagine how much Godzilla dick soup would be worth in Japan? Unbelievable. This is starting to get annoying, you jerks.
Ow! Quit it.
Nice. That's sick.
Now, what's the subtitle there?
I didn't see it.
It's just like M72. Were they telling us
it's telling you what the weapons are.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a couple of things, like the planes. They tell you.
It's a very Japanese thing of like.
As always, the military is capable of doing is to slow Godzilla down a little, says Tango Gemini. Consistent with the rest of the films.
It's laser time, boys.
Whoa! Oh, shit.
Everyone now has cancer.
I'm sorry to report you are all infected.
Japan loves stats, says Soapfish.
They do.
They mean
Get
nothing.
that blood type in there quick.
His tail is getting bigger.
We have achieved Red Rocket.
And somebody made the Lost Planet connection, but I would totally shoot the tip of his tail. Video games have taught me anything. Hey, Roger, what do you call the middle of a song?
If this was the '98 movie, they would have made that freaking joke.
Does Godzilla have a pussy? Not in this movie. We don't know. Life finds a way.
And just like so slow.
The ceiling's just low. Thank God they had a dash cam.
And like the jerky nature of its movement, like it is moving at like 27 FPS or something, but that's intentional. It's supposed to just look so unnatural and bizarre.
Which it's hard to tell, but I mean, maybe that's how Godzilla. It is the first kaiju guy in suit movie, as far as I know. Maybe something happened before that.
I'm actually not sure.
Probably War of the Gargantuas. No, that was later.
And it's like we have to keep going, but hey, they haven't been fully evacuated. And it's just like, well, we can't keep shooting. There's people in the way.
Man, there are more main characters than the fucking Wire in here. Call Trump.
But that's also just like a great message of like the military's goal is to protect people. So like even if their target gets away, it's like get the people out of here. Like that's the goal. Make sure civilization continues and make sure population is safe. Not blow everything up. Oh boy.
That is the most Lost Planet looking thing I've ever seen.
Oh, Megaro.
Shoot the orange. Someone's grilling and cooking somewhere in my apartment, so I get smell-o-vision Shin Godzilla. So do we. The ladies in there. Oh, that's a 509 B2.
It's a B2 bomber, buddy.
Man, this dude really hates bureaucracy. Oh, Yodobashi camera.
So we have a security treaty.
Oh,
America.
Man,
Uh-oh.
Someone's going to jump through a TV there.
Go into the Persona world. The first kaiju movie is Raids Again, since he fights a monster in that. So
the first, it's Anguirus, and he fights. He's the guy.
That's the second one, right?
Yeah, and it's black. It's the only other black and white one.
But it's just he is so dead at the end of the first film.
He's super
Japanese
dead.
version.
Yeah,
you see his skeleton.
There's a Godzilla Raids Again. There's also an Ernest Rides Again.
It is.
There is.
Very
what
similar.
are the similarities between those movies?
They both ride cannons.
The similarities don't end there.
They both open up with a Mr. Bill shorts. Godzilla Raids Again is unfortunately very slow and kind of boring. It is the Freddy 2 of kaiju movies.
It's not great.
Yeah, you would think that the lowest level of a Japanese train station, you'd be kind of safe. Fuck, I wouldn't do that if it Godzilla walking around.
Yeah, look at that shit.
Godzilla goes to prison? Damn, the man is going to destroy you. That is the most, once again, the most I've ever heard Dave laugh on anything. Like legitimately during Ernest Goes to Jail. Yes, it's the happiest I've ever seen you.
Some good moments in that, I will say. The guy that doesn't talk and the fat guy.
Yeah. They're great.
They're a great team.
They are a great team.
Godzilla scared stupid. Godzilla goes to Africa. No, that seems like it's implying something bad. Ace Attorney comes out tomorrow.
And then they're sitting here arguing about the chain of command while Godzilla's literally marching towards this building.
Dude, this guy hates red tape. I didn't get that from Evangelion because it seemed none of you guys saw Evangelion.
No,
I mean I've seen it, but it's been like 15 years.
But it's like they were given ultimate authority on a town already evacuated.
I feel like half the stuff I remember from that is just Shinji's dad going like this.
With cicada bugs.
Yeah. Which is like, let me ponder this for a while before I make my decision.
Godzilla's family albums, says Chris Cummins. I stopped it for Christmas. Godzilla goes to summer camp. Not movies.
The secret way to kill Godzilla is to make him talk about Mr. Pibb on the top of a ladder, and then you push the ladder over, and he'll fall down.
Man, Kuiper Folsom. Godzilla goes to the video store. Godzilla doesn't go to the video store. They never made an Ernest doesn't go somewhere.
Ernest doesn't win an Oscar.
Oh, man, that is awesome.
I wonder if Chris remembers the Godzilla genealogy song from MST3K. Is that from Smoke Monster? Your favorite movie?
So, get ready. The B-2, huge bombs, huge explosion in his back.
Of course, right in the red, just like Lost Planet taught us. Get him, Wayne.
So, this begins...
God. Godzilla
USA.
Okay,
USA. So, this is the first of several jaw-dropping what the fucks that's about to happen.
Oh, hey! We got the roar. Which, according to legend, is a wet rubber glove run across a base played backwards.
Wow.
So,
I am really pissed off.
Jesus. So anytime he suffers a get ready.
My God,
get the fuck ready.
What the fuck?
Is this making me cry?
Is this how he cries?
This is nuts.
The back of Godzilla shines. It sounds like what you say while saluting a cult member.
Oh my
Holy
God.
fuck! What is that?
Vomiting throughout the streets.
This is nuts. This is truly fucking insane.
Oh, man.
Hang on.
Oh, my God. We were just coming there to say hi.
This is fucking nuts, but like again, imagine the gut dropping sensation of seeing this happen.
Yeah,
of like, what are we supposed to do as a species? What is left?
That feeling when you've had too many, when everyone gives you shots on your birthday,
Once again, I'm the one seeing this for the first time, and Tango Gemini, Chris's face is exactly what.
Hang on. It's still.
What else is left?
But they're like, hey, we got more missiles.
Can someone?
No, you don't have any more missiles. It's fucking lasers everywhere.
Jennifer Lopez just ran in to shoot a music video.
In every direction.
He has mandibles. This is the most Evangelion thing I've ever seen since John.
Yeah, look at that shit.
Man, I love a good laser blade. Had it coming. All humans are not innocent. Godzilla's the 13th angel, says John. Holy shit.
Man. There has to be a better comparison than this, and I've only been playing this a lot lately, but like in Friday the 13th, the game when you're Jason and you have no idea what to do, so you just spam shit, it's like, I can still probably kill a lot of people by just like fucking throwing my attacks willy-nilly out everywhere. Because I'm panicking, and I feel like that's what.
Yeah, Stacey and Ramon. Yes! It is laser time. That's a fantastic shot.
And now, because he's spent, he is basically just gonna like
go into stasis.
Yeah.
I don't know. This music is making me fall in love with Godzilla.
This is one of my favorite Godzilla movies of all time, for sure. And he's just frozen like that. Like his tail is stuck. He's just stuck there. That's actually the Tokyo station.
Oh.
Look at that shit.
That's where my girlfriend ate better sushi while I struggled.
I think Kiefer Folsom puts it best. How it feels to chew stride gum.
Stride 5 gum.
Whew. And like anything around that is also irradiated, so it's like this is just fucking hopeless. There is still one more. There's at least 2 more what the fucks left in this movie.
And swastikas everywhere.
I mean, something else over there.
Brett, you described this on BT, but it's still mind-blowing, says Black Pariah.
Yeah, I'm
really good at forgetting spoilers, and I do sort of remember some of what you said. I'm allowing myself to remember some of what you said. Watching this film with my Shin Godzilla action figure, says Jack Ninavaji. I'm going to have to ask rhetorically which one, because he's appeared in like 3 different forms at this point.
And so that scene we just saw was literally like the thing that just tipped me from like, this is a fun, interesting new take on Godzilla to like, this is incredible, and I had no idea what to expect, and there's no way you can predict that. And as soon as it happens, like there's that immediate like 80s kid thing of like, that's not what I remember, and then that's where so many people get there, where you see something that's not like what you remember, but when you already have 24 of them, do you need another one? Do you need another one of the thing you already loved, or do you need to see something so outside the bounds that it actually makes you go, wow, like you need that childlike, like I don't have an answer, I don't have a hot take, I have nothing. That's what this movie is supposed to do.
That fascinating revelation, I don't remember how he came to it in Godzilla '84, that like it's a Godzilla movie, but it's being made 30 years after the original. And Godzilla boxes the occasional skyscraper. But remember, we were watching it and like, well, Tokyo's way bigger than Godzilla ever was.
Yeah. In the 80s one.
And to make him seem more threatening, like, he can't just, like, spend time pummeling fucking buildings. Like, and so this is the escalation of the threat to make him, what would you call it? Not synonymous, but more relevant now. Like, as
because if he's just
as a force of nature,
if he's just blasting radiation everywhere he goes, it doesn't matter how big your buildings are.
And Otaku Chief says it's very much like the actual Fukushima disaster. The original water-based disaster was just the start. Later, it got much worse with way more radiation.
Yeah, like the tsunami was damaging in and of itself, and then later came, this is a huge problem.
Never drink from a Cecilia when death is on the line. Oop. Seriously, we couldn't get one water company sponsorship?
Chris Cummins, this totally manages to get the whole we're fucked if these things actually exist vibe. The 2014 one get muddled in between the monster fights.
Yeah, it's great that our military is so awesome can always beat Godzilla.
Yeah, like the point of them beating Godzilla is always like, then you missed the point. Like you should
you
not
watch those
win.
natural disaster movies and like, really,
we beat the tornado, guys.
Humans defeated weather. Like that's what happened.
We did it. Like that attitude is so toxic and evil. I hate that.
Very
idea.
American.
It's so bad.
So this is kind of like the opposite of Battlestar Galactica, where like the chain of command in that it was like that this like lady who had some job, like she actually became good at becoming whatever the last
like the
human
Secretary
president.
of Education.
This is like who's the oldest, most decrepit person we have left.
Oh, you haven't worked at a Japanese company.
He's the new prime minister. Like that's.
More like knee Godzilla. I have to ask, and I totally forgot. Shin Godzilla. What is Shin?
Shin is like new or new or rebirth or something.
I thought
like
for some reason it was like this Godzilla is like it's different.
No,
it's different. This is the strongest Godzilla, says Alex, just by sheer force of his own
like
breath.
the prime minister is now the red stapler guy from Office Space.
Milton.
Yeah, it's like they're just people are like, I don't want any part of this, or are dead.
I am going to burn the building down.
Yeah, Shin can mean new, true, or God. Tengu Gemini, such as, I believe that's why Shin Megami Tensei is like a sort of a pun. It's like new, but also God. I might be wrong.
Well, since Henry's not here, I'm the expert, so
great.
It doesn't mean any of that at all. It means Panda Bear upskirt.
I think it just means like new. I looked this up at one point.
But
I totally
noodles.
forgot.
Goatzilla, says Paul Gonzalez. This is the greatest of all time.
Is that a line from Pacific Rim, Red Baron? When you see a hurricane, you get out of the way, but when you're in a Jaeger, you feel like you can fight the hurricane. Which is a cool concept when you're building giant robots to fight them. Because then you're so ridiculous that it's like, sure, fine, the giant robot can win. But when it's like the regular military stopped the evil giant monster, and it's like, then you didn't learn a lesson. You're just like, yeah, so we can beat anything. Cool, got it. Like,
date myself.
Eventually, your comeuppance is going to be catastrophic.
I'm going to date this commentary with a reference just because I didn't have that much news to look at while I was on vacation. Jaeger is a reference to Chuck Yeager, the person Sam Shepard played in The Right Stuff, an astronaut.
He was the first man to break the sound barrier?
Yeah. Well, I just totally forgot about that until I'd never seen The fucking Right Stuff. But
well, I just knew Yeager because it's my house.
What?
They had like books on Chuck Yeager and
yeah, the guy who played him in a movie just died.
Yeah,
he was a famous playwright and dabbled in acting, but got nominated for an Oscar in the profession he hated. Ava X Godzilla figure that's $600 on Amazon, says Chris Cummins.
Woof.
I wasn't done. What about the invisible guys in the back?
Yeah,
man, very Ava. Ooh. Have you seen the Mechagodzilla design by the Metal Gear Solid artist? No, I have not.
No, I don't think I have. So yeah, they're working on their plans still to freeze him, because if you can freeze a nuclear reaction or stop it, then they can't keep expending that energy.
Time for our plucky misfits to save the day.
So yeah, they have a few different plans. They're working.
Mechagodzilla, there he is.
There it was.
That so the robot is in the last day of retirement.
The big one is we're going to make this cooling agent, and we're going to try to somehow get it in his mouth.
Ooh, that color is popped.
We're going to make a giant can of Boss coffee.
But yeah, I love that.
Awesome.
He's just
frozen
sitting
in the middle
of
everything. A statue to mayhem.
We're going to draw the world's biggest penis on its forehead. It'll be so embarrassed it'll go back to the sea.
John W., why do you think a giant balloon would work? Shut up, that's why.
Do you want a different beer?
Okay.
I'm going to bring it to you anyway.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God, we haven't even seen, the Americans yet.
On FX?
Man.
So yeah, our subtitles don't quite match that. I felt like when I watched it, they were actually subtitling what they were saying still in English, right?
I think so.
Because I felt like I understood that more when I was watching it on the back of a airplane seat.
So yeah, they basically, if they get too close.
Oh, here we go.
So basically, yeah, he has a radar on him that will just, if anything's shooting at him, he will be able to detect it and take it out. Oh, and he's got pieces of himself falling off.
More crap.
So that's an important thing to think for later. Rapid colonization worldwide. So,
of what?
So this is why.
Archive.org.
So the idea is that he will just keep evolving into something more efficient. So he's like, he could spread wings and fly away. He could become very small, and that would be the end of humanity. The thing is, we don't know what he will do when faced with a new challenge.
Whoa.
So, and the U.S. has a plan of just nuking Tokyo, and that's another huge discussion, which is like,
I want to start over.
Because the U.S. is like, we can't allow this thing to land in the West Coast. We are going to blow it up. We're going to nuke Tokyo. Sorry.
I didn't see the United States enter into this. Okay.
Yeah, because
never has this seemed more relevant.
Because the world is watching. And they're just like, the only thing that's going to stop them is a nuclear missile. So
why would you think that?
Yeah, I don't like. It's like what is giving you
the only thing you have?
Yeah, it's just therefore that must be the answer. And
stab him with dragon glass. Try something else.
Have you tried praying at him? Have you tried stabbing him with a cross?
Yes.
Like that might work too.
Maybe Splenda. All of this could work.
What if you get him in a big asbestos-filled building? But the idea is, yeah, do you really want to be the prime minister or the person who lets America bomb Japan again? Like,
yeah, I wish this got a better U.S. release. I get the feeling they were skittish about it being too Japanese.
I don't know. But they're basically just like, we need a plan. Because if we don't have a plan, America's going to drop a bomb, and there's nothing we can really do to stop that.
Philip Lopez sending my thoughts and prayers to Tokyo.
Yeah. And no, he's not the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He doesn't become what we think of.
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Dumbledore is not gay. More sanctions against Godzilla, says Japanese Imaji.
Oh. He needs an emergency power to the prime minister.
Man, it'd be weird if that ever happened in America. What say you, Japanese Jared Kushner?
This prime minister is like if everybody in the WWE died and like one of the Ascension had to be the new WWE Universal Champion. Like, who's the worst possible person for this job?
Godzilla will fall to our efficient bureaucracies.
He will get so bored with dealing with us, he will just go back to the ocean.
I have to fill out what?
Then no. I'm not going to do it.
Not going to lie, I would have loved to see this nominated at the Academy Awards for foreign film. Like, why the fuck not?
Yeah, I've had that long-standing thing.
But when we talk about the catharsis of the original Godzilla to make something relevant on that level to the modern day, yeah, it's a franchise and it's an established character, but this is really interesting. This is not what I expected.
Yeah, it raises a lot of. I mean, the intent of a Godzilla movie in the beginning was like it needs to make you go. You should leave disagreeing with your friends about like, no, they shouldn't let them drop a bomb. No, they should. No, Japan should be allowed to defend itself without having to get a bunch of approvals from other people. Like, blah, blah, blah,
never
blah, blah.
dance in this series.
Yeah, Alex, that's a good point. Like, here's why it can't be nominated, because that is a giant goofy lizard. Clearly, it can't be serious. And that's the thing. I don't know. I've held that with sci-fi for a long time, which is like
supposed to be the fucking point.
It's like if there's an alien in it, it does not get critical acclaim. Like it's like meager. Like, oh yeah, it's like 3 stars or whatever. It's fine. But like you can't win awards if there's an alien in something. It's like it's too out there. Yeah, it has to be like a sci-fi movie. It's just something like Moon sticks out to me, or people like fawn over it, and it's like, yeah, there's no alien in it. Like, but the moment you show an alien in something, it's like, oh, it can't be that good. That's goofy sci-fi 50s comic book shit.
Arrival was close.
Yeah,
and it was a mature sci-fi story.
And that I think is a sign of like things are turning around.
Yeah,
I just think it took like freaking almost a century.
I'm lightly reading a Rod Serling biography, and he very deliberately hid political and racial things behind aliens to get them past censors and television approval and slid progressive values into the eyes of everyone under the guise of sci-fi, which is great.
Yeah, Arrival was good.
That guy just adjourned the meeting? What?
Yeah, Taku, monster movies are how people deal with national trauma. There's a reason why one of the first movies after 9/11 to show New York being destroyed was Cloverfield. Like, not a 9/11, you know.
Took a while.
To show something, New York being blown up or destroyed in some way. It's like, it took 7 years.
5 years. Man. Remember that trauma. Ooh. He's talking to us. Stupid pre-order bonus. Whoa! Van Halen, everybody!
Panama!
Seek and destroy! We're gonna get him.
I'm gonna fuck him up.
They had.
Did we play that this weekend?
Yes, it was on the.
Oh, I'm so glad
they
I found
had, but we're gonna get them. Can't get fooled again. Bye bye.
Bye. It won't be misunderestimated another time.
But here they are making the coagulant that will ideally freeze Godzilla or freeze his core such that they can do something or just stop him.
Like chip away at him like a fucking statue.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some dumb Nick Cage? Yeah, there were 2 9/11 movies. Well,
there's United whatever, and then there was
M93 in fucking World Trade Center. And again, my favorite, Remember Me.
Remember Me.
I'm not supposed to tell you that because you're not supposed to know. The movie ends with 10 minutes of 9/11.
I'm led to believe that the person who did the subtitles for this is Spanish, because once in a while, like, he'll just say like "una termonuclear bombo." Like, what?
Directed by Steven Spielberg.
Damn, Dave, you speak Spanish?
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
amazing.
Oh, this is great. Here's the Americans. This is listen to this.
Oh, Michael Madsen's president. Oof. House of Cards theme.
What they don't know is that Godzilla works for me.
There are 2 kinds of Godzillas in this universe.
3 different dudes staring out of 3 different windows. Like, people don't do that.
Yeah, without dialogue, that is just a depression medication commercial.
AstraZeneca. Maybe.
Given enough time, any laser time discussion will lead back to 9/11. You weren't there, man.
I'm 2,000 miles away.
You're one of our 16-year-old listeners who wasn't there, man.
It's America, son. We're gonna build a wall and make Godzilla pay for it. Jack Ninibaji. Look, Godzilla will come out in the wash. Just stop saying you won't
Paul
pay for it.
Gonzalez. Side effects include Godzilla.
Oh shit! They got the Pepsi buses.
Oh, sweet. It's the choice of a new generation.
It's a great chance for the Venga bus to start playing.
The Six Flags men will cheer us up.
That's a good T-shirt idea, Red Baron. Laser time can melt steel beams. Maybe I will. Toy boat. So, full evacuation of Tokyo is occurring.
Get him out of here.
Let's raid Super Potato. Fun fact, Chris comments, Voodoo is the worst streaming service ever. Sorry, buddy.
For what it's worth,
I'd love just if you paused on this shot and told me this is a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, we're
waiting for a foot to come down.
We're at an hour 27 for what it's worth.
Like they're kind of just reflecting right now about like, no matter what happens, like our economy's fucked.
Yeah.
Like the infrastructure is all destroyed. Everyone like has lost their job because like outside of the government, there's no jobs left.
To Japan's credit, they bounced back crazy hard from the tsunami because they're a very efficient society. I'm sure.
I mean,
know
also
it took a while.
a cleanup of this scale will you'll just employ a lot of people cleaning it up. But yeah, it's just like
jobs.
Which was like insane that it was like I think PAX that happened right after the tsunami, where it's like, thanks for coming here, Japanese game developer. Can you talk about your game while you're worried about your fucking family?
Whoever the guy was who made Child of Light, the Kinect game, like we went in an interview and he was cool, but like everything okay? Camera comes off. Like, how's it going? Like, sorry, that was bad. His translator says, my family hasn't been found yet. I'm like, get him the fuck out of here. What is he doing here promoting this dumb Kinect game?
GameZone didn't like your game. I mean, you were a bit too depressed for some reason.
No, he like in hindsight, he was the most valiant human being I've seen to persevere and try and give the best responses he could with his family lost in a tsunami. I remember Tyler. Oh Jesus! Tyler and I were up like drinking all night, watching waves hit Japan, like literal waves hit Japan.
So that's his tale. That's going to come into play a little later.
Cup noodles
in a big way. Dude, literally, the last shot of this movie is one of the most what the fuck things I've ever seen.
Kojima's "I'm all right" tweet has become sort of a meme. Says Caleb. I mean, Facebook has a literal markation for that now.
Yeah, I'm okay.
We haven't had to go through that, but my friends in Florida have with a hurricane.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
These subtitles are going south real quick.
With a body like Godzilla, customers are crooked.
You got to read that like a salesman. With a body like Godzilla, every customer seems crooked.
And I just kind of go along with it. Like.
Weirdly, this reminds me more of the 1954 Godzilla more than any other film in the series. Is Adam Street.
Yeah, this is the most on point with that stuff. So then they're like,
with a disaster.
This is great. This is like a molecular graph. We're like, we've been looking at it flat. What if we like fold it up and make? We think we maybe have cracked what he is and how he works. So with this, maybe we can make our shit more effective.
The brewpot is rammed.
Philip Lopez. He title sub good.
He title sub good.
You're not thinking fourth dimensionally, Godzilla.
Yeah, basically, like there is like no limit to what he could theoretically do. Mazua.
Dude, my favorite person in this scene is the guy on the left. There's like a bald guy with a scowl on his face. Hopefully we see him again.
They basically say he's a mixotroph that can harness decaying heat.
Huh?
I've never heard
Mixotroph?
Oh, dude, this is bad.
I love the books.
This dialogue here. There's like a German guy, I think. It's definitely like, who's in the room that can speak English?
Man, that guy's so nervous he has to deliver a line in English.
What language is he speaking? Chinese?
German.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I swear there's an English part here that was bad. Maybe not. Maybe I was thinking of something else. This is where your destiny saves are.
All Overwatch porn.
Look, if there's any game that deserves it.
It'll have wireless charging and lightning cables coming back. It's folding at home. As a poor German speaker, it is just a bad dub as the English says Sotaku cheap. Steam Greenlight is out of control. Wait, is Godzilla a giant tardigrade? He'll outlive us all, baby.
Man, all these conversation on rooftops.
And
why isn't no one playing the Switch up there? I'd like to believe that it's the best place to use your
a
Switch.
bunch of Christmas lights and multicultural kids with beards and thick glasses.
Otakuchi says, as a poor German speaker, that was just as bad as the English.
I say nothing.
This poor man.
Hey, Godzilla, get a room.
Hey, Fun Lizard. They're all really good at molecular cell biology. Really great education systems, says Keith Wood. Wow, that was a lot of words that were hard to get after 4 beers. Unilateral is a great title for the next Call of Duty game. I just want to say that right now.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Call of Duty : Unilateral. There's only so many wars to name your game after.
Oh, man.
Better believe we're going to the Korean War after next year, buddy.
This meeting room is great.
Yeah, they busted out the love seats.
It's way better than the roof I was using.
So they're like, we think we got it.
Shin Call of Duty. This prime minister is so dopey.
What a great painting, man. The fucking Mount Fuji with a helicopter flying in front of it. Oh, that is great. That is super cool. And I don't know what they're doing after this. Like, I don't know that they have a plan for like another Godzilla movie or a sequel.
I don't know, and I'm vaguely remembering what you said, but it seemed like a scorched earth thing. Like, no, let's make a Godzilla movie reminiscent of the original, and then where the fuck do you go? But it can't. If it's as fascinating as this one, I'm dying to see what happens.
It is super weird. The ending is definitely so what does that mean?
I think Anno didn't want to make it, said Alex. And
that's fine. I love this thing so much as it is. Like, to make another one, I don't think would help. Oh, here you go. Here you go.
Gadget. Bible thumpers. Can confirm these subtitles suck.
Big Lee? Big Lee? Big Lee.
The situation is ratchet. Who is this? The president?
Yeah. He's married though, so good man.
I'm a good Christian man.
Yeah. I don't know why he has to sound like Mr. Van Driesen from Beavis and Butthead. Just unleash Operation Lesbian Seagull. The English is really bad, says Chris Goomans. You can tell he's American because he's wearing a shirt with Uncle Sam on it with the words "Try and stop us." Godzilla 2, the Shinnings. That's how you do it.
Man, Kiefer, why does this guy sound like a bad Jack Nicholson impersonator?
If I'm gonna be the president and anything other than Mars attacks, I want to live.
Yeah, like, to play the president, could they not have, like, splurged for, like, I don't know, what, like
Bob Saget.
Yeah, like $25,000. Bob Saget will, like, voice your guy.
Yeah. Somebody big in the 80s.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, Taku Chief. I like how Americans are mostly faceless white people who have a major impact on Japan with just a word. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's part of the... It's not a great scenario.
I really did expect a lot more Japanese people in this movie to have the old style, like, candy bar phones, because I thought they still did that with the charms.
In Japan? Or
yeah.
Now?
Do they also use smartphones there now?
Yeah, the iPhone ravaged everything.
Yeah, the iPhone's huge, and I mean a lot of the Android stuff, but you don't see those Nokia.
Yeah,
it's actually, I don't know.
You'll still see some.
I worked at a Japanese company. It was weird to look at that, like how they dominated every business of tech and games, and you go over there and like Samsung, Apple, like this is not a Japanese industry. You have lost phones.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of like,
but they still put charms on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like the new 3DS doesn't have a charm slot. I am bummed out about that.
Yeah, like flip phones are still kind of a thing because there's just like software and I mean, when I went in 07 and 09, like flip phones were still huge. Yeah. And then post 07, 08, like 09, iPhones blew up. But
what biography is that? What, Chris?
Keith Wood says Steve Gutenberg as president. Steve Gutenberg.
Man. Trapped. I didn't say that part on bonus time. Trapped on a cruise ship. We watched 3 Men and a Baby because it was one of our few options.
3 Men and a Little Baby?
And I didn't remember how much heroin is involved in 3 Men and a Baby.
Really?
Directed by Leonard Nimoy. Like all of it was like, wow, what the fuck is this movie? How did this premise even work?
Guy's got like a Hideo Itami haircut where he's got like a little bit of hair in the back that always seems to pop up in his matches.
The male Japanese Cruella de Vil.
Only NXT fans will understand this joke.
Make Japan great again. I know it's meaningless. What color is your clean suit? Anyone else excited for Shin, Batman, and Robin?
Oh, man, did you already do that for 30-2010? It already happened.
Yeah, dude, that was really. I haven't seen it in 10 years. So
it's
it was
a great time.
Really fun.
And Spawn already passed, right?
No, we have not done Spawn.
Spawn's coming up.
No, we already did it, but we haven't watched it.
Oh, I see.
But when I went to look at pictures, like I forgot about all the machine guns. I
that's the comic, though.
No, I know, but like the way the suit looks, that he looks like a gritty version of California Raisin holding 2 MP5s. The suit looks real dumb.
Huh? So the idea is like Shinkansens that are going to like ram into him at like full speed, which is terrifying in itself.
Kenosha Shinkansen. Oh! All right, I'm up. Army theme says Alex. This is great. Such a great plan.
Dude, so, yeah, again, their plan is to overwhelm him with shit. So he
Drizzle Snones.
So he expends all of his energy, right?
Mm-hmm. Again.
That is so good.
So he's aiming those things.
Yeah, so when you were gone, they did say he basically has a radar that detects whatever was firing at him, and just the lasers just go straight at it.
Now this is why it's called Shin Godzilla.
Yes!
I got that joke.
But the idea is, yes! They just are going to, like, throw... Yes.
Oh, I hit a building.
You guys want to be that close? And that's the radiation.
They are remarkably cool.
Shin Godzilla.
But yeah, he is like, as he does this, the radiation just gets worse and worse. So while they are maybe saving, even if this works, they are so boned. And that's why there's no victory here.
Fuck.
He's projecting a Kenny Loggins light show out of his back.
I'm all right. Ain't nobody
so they think
he's telling us to cut loose.
So they think he's done. Like, oh, he must be out of energy. Wait a minute. What's this all about? Why not? His tail can shoot too.
Fuck humans. I'm with Godzilla here. None of you are innocent. I've seen your fucking cat.
Oh yeah, get that whole part of town is dead. Like, he's gonna start sinking into the earth.
Is this part of the original Godzilla score?
Yes, it's so good.
Yeah, I feel like this is...
He has both kind of lightsabers in his body.
That is so fucking cool,
basically,
man.
if you just, like, had a loaded machine gun and just dropped it on the floor and let it shoot everywhere.
Yeah, all these sound effects are very classic Godzilla. Like, all these explosion noises are right out of the 60s.
The army theme is the same.
Yes, hit him with the building! Yes! Get him! Get him!
Oh, Mel Gibson's going to fly out of there!
Yes, get him! This is so good.
Not the Enix building.
Jesus Christ. His tail is getting longer, right? I'm not crazy? Phase 4, really good movie about killer ants.
Stock footage of a missile being launched.
Oh, it's an RGM
10-9C. I know.
I knew that. I didn't need to know.
I had to file one of those.
Yes, look at this. That is so cool. They're just going to, like, these buildings are boned. Like, forget this shit.
I'm never going to forget this shit. Oh, Godzilla again. Oh, no! Watch out, watch out, watch out!
Don't you hate it when you visit a new city for the first time and a building falls on you?
Dude, they're just, like, burying him in this shit.
God damn.
Man.
This rules.
And now that they've got him down... Cue the Danger Zone theme.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. Burn out, burn out.
Or Simeon Acres.
I hope this works.
Time to get moving.
So yeah, they are intent on now pumping him full of coagulant.
Like, if Grimm could tell us what kind of car this is, I would blow him in front of everybody. Oh, that's a coagulant.
They've only made 6 of them.
1994.
The 86 Kawagi.
Time for the tentacles, says Alex.
Yeah, even a Godzilla movie has to end in bukkake.
I'm not sure that that's a Japanese word.
It is.
Yes.
And here come the tentacles. So much coagulant.
The pump displacement is off the charts.
Oh, please tell me they break apart Godzilla and send him into the atmosphere.
So actually, don't
Hi,
I
I'm
remember?
Godzilla, and this is my first coagulant scene.
There might only be like 10 minutes left of the actual movie, so I don't actually remember.
Fuck!
Oh, whoops! I remember the final ending. I don't remember how they finally get him down.
Phil Lopez says, statistically speaking, this is the fetish of someone in our chat.
Chris Cummins, the amount of money this operation would cost any country would ruin them. Oh, yeah, again, like, dude, launching all the trains at him is so good. That's such a...
Because they're going to, like, ramp up on the wreckage.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yes!
Still tentacles, though. Counting it as something I could masturbate to.
There. Okay, this is how... Yeah. So that's Tokyo Station. That is really cool. Like, and we've been there. Like, that's the surface of Tokyo Station.
I've never seen it from the outside.
And beneath that is bigger than my hometown.
Yep. Oh, someone hasn't been flossing.
It's me.
Synchronized crane boners.
But just like, again,
it does look like he's sucking off a spy door.
I love some guys got it. That's one of the deepest pulls in his.
Laser time, by the way.
But I think they. I think this does such a good job of showing the effort it would take to actually do any of this shit. Like, the network of tubes required to make this thing pump this much coagulant to cool him down. Like, that's this thing leads to this thing, leads to this thing, leads to this thing. Like,
75% managed. Still the most Japanese thing I've heard this entire movie.
Yeah, it is. Looking good.
So you like coagulant, do you? Have all the coagulant in the world.
His booger tail is down.
Uh-oh.
Fuck this shit.
This is really fun. And in hindsight, I guess Godzilla didn't get enough of this. Like, him versus people.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then
Sub-Zero wins.
And Alex, uh-oh, this is actually cocaine. What have we done? I forgot about the instant freeze. That is kind of weird. But again, the dead silence, this is very important for the final shot. And they think they've done it.
They haven't done it?
Well, there's not much time.
Maybe those guys going to become permanent employees and don't have to wear the flag football jerseys.
So the idea is, I think they managed to stop U.S. from dropping the bomb. Yeah, the full Ojigi.
Also, the magic radiation will go away in 2 weeks.
Yeah, probably.
Oh man, this music! It's like when everyone's leaving the house at the end of the Real World season.
Well, we made a lot of good friends.
Learned a lot this season.
Oh, so this is
you
the
can
thing.
get AIDS from blood.
So they're like, Godzilla will decay over time. He has an actual half-life, and he'll disappear, or again, these subtitles are fucking it up big time, but something is somewhat hopeful that hey, maybe this will actually end. But there's also something that he's just frozen. He's not dead.
It sounds like a lyric to Dennis Leary's asshole. John Wayne's not dead. He's just frozen. Soapfish says, I love Dave. I did not hear what you said, David.
His nuclear isotope only has a life.
What would you do? God, I missed it. I'm going to become a patron and get this whole commentary.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, the radiation should be fully gone in 3 to 4 years, which is still awful, but way better than decades.
Get the hell out of Tokyo.
But again, dude, the last shot is fucked up.
Probably an awesome fighting game stage, a frozen Godzilla in the background.
And that's the thing is Godzilla is just frozen on top of Tokyo Station right now. He's just there.
Haru Nakajima, first actor to play Godzilla, has died at 88.
That's
honest. Did that really just happen?
Yeah, I think today or...
God damn. That is not why we did this. The whole country is still screwed.
Oh man, this is like also very like lost music.
Yeah, the Japanese Silver Dome
Look at
is
that.
terrible.
He's just
Charlie
there.
just sacrificed himself for Godzilla.
Yeah, it's basically if Godzilla ever moves again, they will resume.
Obliterate everything?
Yeah.
Prometheus. That's hopeful. He'll be here to children like Gamera. The nuke is still in play. All Japan did was buy time, says Otakuji.
Yeah, because the idea is like he's not like if anything goes wrong, like the nuke is still like that's what we're going to do. So if this didn't work, your city is still toast.
I mean, a year ago, I wouldn't like. This is a bad perception of America. Not now. On the bright side, they have a new kick-ass statue. Ooh.
But yeah, she's like, maybe she'll get more power.
I found the only fucking synagogue in Japan.
So I think this is the final shot. That's pretty cool.
Please explode.
But this really try to soak this in.
I have time to leave.
This is really something. Here you go.
It's like the end of Avengers. Whoa!
What the heck? Wait, what was that? I don't remember that.
So,
oh, it's the original score.
It's like, what the fuck was that? Like,
wow.
They were too humanoid.
Yeah, they were
to not be him harvesting bodies.
It's like, was he absorbing bodies? Was he about to evolve into a billion tiny versions of himself to get away from all the things hitting him?
That is the best.
Like, what the fuck was that? You don't know, and you're just like, and then that's it.
I'm loving the reactions of chat. People like me who are seeing this for the first time. What? What the fuck?
Like, you will not get an answer. They will never answer that question.
Like, it sort of sucks when a movie leaves on a cliffhanger, but that's one hell of a... What the fuck was that? Is there going to be a stinger here? Jeremy Renner's going to come out?
I don't recall. Yeah, I don't think there's any stinger or anything.
All right, so that was Ramon Sanchez. I thought that was really good. Only Anno could get away with such a...
That was definitely not a thing I'd recognized on a 5" by 3" screen where it's like...
You just thought they were spines?
Yes.
You thought he was a little stegosaurus?
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't want to...
That guy gets his name in English.
I wouldn't want a sequel, because like I don't want to have that explained to me, like... what that was. It's like just the still is like Jesus Christ. Like it's just enough to know they may be totally boned. Like that whole planet, that universe, forget about it. That Earth.
You don't want a sequel.
No, absolutely not.
I do.
If they managed to do it and it came out as good as this, great. But like I don't know how that's possible.
But they left it open ended. Like,
they did.
Frozen in the middle of Tokyo.
Yeah, they totally did. But like I love that it's like wow. It's like. Did they catch it just in time, or is that happening live? And like, it's so good, and the movie is so weird.
Best Godzilla movie in decades, is Otaku Chief. The film score is composed by Shiro Sagisu, who scored Anno's Neon Genesis Evangelion. If you didn't say it from the start, it's kind of like Inception.
Yeah, people pointing out his tail wasn't like that when he was frozen?
We saw his tail close up several times.
Yeah. So maybe that's like happening.
That was the thing he was about to do.
Yeah, which is like
before he was bukkakied with coagulant.
Apparently, the next Godzilla movie can't even be made until after 2020.
Oh,
or Shin Godzilla's sequel at least can't be made until.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Jack Nivaji might be my favorite Godzilla movie. If you notice closely, when they froze Godzilla's tail, his tail was not like that. Oh, sorry, you just said that to Kiefer.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's why I love it, though. That's like, as a kid, it was all about, like, 1985 is the one that I loved the most as a kid. Like, I know it has a not great reputation, but, like, again, as a kid in 1987, when I was watching it, there was no online commentary about that movie. It was just a Godzilla movie that you saw as a kid and it kicked ass. So I've always had an affinity for ones that paint him more as a villain or thing we have to stop. I love the monster designs. The Toho monsters are so cool. But I love Godzilla most when he is representing something or a force, not just like suplexing other monsters. That's cool too.
It's nice to have a wrestling movie with Godzilla.
Yeah, that's fun.
The art book for this movie is amazing, says Alex.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. But thank you for watching.
Are you kidding? They can't make another one because of the American
I think that's
films?
it might be like the King Kong averse.
I mean, it might be a legal thing, or
I never talked to you, but I did see King Kong, and like,
yeah, I did
dude, you fucking spoil the stinger, which is the dumbest thing ever.
The stinger's spoiled in the credits.
If I can see Steve Rule interact with Godzilla, though,
he is the bleeding heart of that film, and they
can't
be in the sequel. Yeah, I'll go wherever you guys want again. That'd be fun.
He is the bulliest.
For your Godzilla health.
You guys shouldn't have come here. All right, we have to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to flip this over to privates or patrons only. We love you guys.